Hello and welcome back to another episode of UA's Double Overtime. I'm hosted here with the special guest Spencer Pesh, our executive producer.
How's it going, everybody? Mike, how's it feel, bringing it in now that Connor's not here?
Terrible because I have to sit next to you, so.
All right, well, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to the season finale here of UA Double Overtime for the fall 2013 semester. We're going to get right into it. We've been away from the set for quite some time, but there's been some pretty exciting stuff happening in sports. We're going to start off with MLB free agency. The Yankees have been doing quite a number, signing Brian McCann, Ellsbury, Carlos Beltran, and they re-signed Kuroda.
Let's slow down and take it one by one, not jumble them all together.
I'm trying. All right, we'll have it your way.
Well, number one, they signed Brian McCann to a 5-year deal. Something we definitely needed to do. We needed a catcher. He's a great offensive catcher. He's one of the best in the league, coming off a veteran from the Atlanta Braves. I'm very happy that we got him.
I'm very happy we got him too. He's a real nice bet to add to that lineup.
Yeah. Next up is Jacoby Ellsbury off a 7-year deal for the New York Yankees, right off the winning of the World Series with the Boston Red Sox. Yeah, he's a Red Sox, but we got to take him.
I mean, we got Damon from the Red Sox, and he was one of my favorite Yankees when
Kevin
he was on the
Youkilis
team.
until he got hurt.
I still don't like Youkilis. But my only problem with the Ellsbury deal is they gave him a lot. 7 years is a long time. Ellsbury is one of those injury-prone players. He's a great player, but if he can stay healthy, then he will be a great asset, and that's a great person to add. Added that we lost Granderson to the New York Mets.
And you know what? What kind of upset me about the loss to Granderson is, he was one of my favorite Yankees while he was on the team. And he has the nerve to, when he gets signed, to say that he heard from a lot of people that true New Yorkers are Mets fans. And I mean, that kind of stabs me right in the back. I rooted for him the whole way after he was on Detroit to us to now the Mets. We're not really allowed to curse on here, but Curtis Granderson. How's that sound?
I mean, sitting in I'm a season ticket holder. Me and Mike went to opening day last year. Seeing, Granderson was one of my favorite players to see, doing that roll call that the bleacher creatures are famous for. He was one of those fan favorites, very energetic, great player, and it just sucks that he has to, go to the Mets.
Yeah, I wish him all the best.
Yeah. Fuck you, Granderson. Next up, Robbie Cano. So sad to see you go. What do you think about that?
Well, here's the thing with that is that, $240 million over 10 years, that's a lot of money, and that's a very long time. Who knows what's going to happen in those 10 years? What really upsets me about that is that his agent is Jay-Z, the guy who his claim is that he makes the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can. But he'll ship off our best player to the farthest away team possible, Seattle Mariners.
I always talk about it that there's really no loyalty left in professional sports. All these players think about the money. But now you have one of the biggest New York fans who's sitting at the Yankee game, a loyal fan to the Yankees, and he's going to go that same route of only caring about the money. If there's one thing about, players have to get paid, but as a fan, you want to see your team win, and you're going to encourage the best player being shipped off to the Mariners.
The thing with that is, though, is that, he could have stayed with New York. He was going to get a $200+ million contract for New York. He knows that, but he went where he was going to get the most money, $240 million in Seattle. 10 years is a long time. I mean, he was one of my favorite Yankees, just like Curtis Granderson, but, he was a homegrown Yankee. He was one of the best players, Golden Gloves, everything, Silver Slugger. But, this is what happens in baseball. This is what happens in Major League Sports. It's a business. You gotta take the good with the bad.
Yeah, very sad to see him go. He's one of those guys that grew up through the organization. I wish he would have stayed, become one of those Derek Jeter types, those Yankee legends that we got to see come up from the farm system and, kill it. But I guess he had other plans. So see you, Robbie Cano.
Along with other signings, we got Carlos Beltran. To a 3-year, $45 million deal. Another Gold Glover. But, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, yeah, he's great during the season. But, I mean, we saw in the 2007 NLCS that everyone knows about, struck out looking to end the series. I mean, that's something that's un-Yankee characteristic, and I don't know.
I mean, we see it enough with Alex Rodriguez. I don't want to have to see it with Carlos Beltran.
Yeah, we'll see what comes from it. But, you know, the number one Yankee re-signing that we got this year is definitely Kuroda. We signed him to a one-year deal. Definitely needed that. With a pitching staff that's just wiltering away, we have nothing. Andy Pettitte retired. I mean,
Sabathia is not the same.
Sabathia is not the same CC that he was. I mean, who are we relying on? Nova and Phelps? That can't happen. It's not going to happen. We need more pitching, and along with that, there's a lot of good free agents left, like pitching-wise, like Matt Garza, Ubaldo Jimenez, Irvin Santana, and I hate to say it, but A.J. Burnett, fresh off of Pittsburgh.
Fresh off
he had
a great outing in Pittsburgh.
3.3 ERA last season. You know, he didn't really have the offense to back him up all the time. But, I mean, if he could come back to New York and pitch like that, that'd be great. We saw what he did in his final seasons with New York. It wasn't so hot, although he did help us win the 2009 World Series. Yeah. I wouldn't be upset to see him back.
I wouldn't be upset to see him back. It's just I did like A.J. Burnett for his stint in New York, but it's a classic case of one of those players who was a good player coming to the Yankees and just not producing, and the minute they ship him off, he's an all-star again. And that's always boggled my mind. I would love to see A.J. Burnett come back with what he's got going on there in Pittsburgh. Pitching is a must. Kuroda was very good this year.
Most consistent Yankee pitcher.
The most consistent on that staff. Nova, he's been a good pitcher for the past couple of seasons. But that is a must.
You know, I mean, we got some good bats with Ellsbury, McCann, and Carlos Beltran to pick it up. But you know what? You're not going to win without pitching, and we, at this moment, have no pitching, need pitching. Our pitching is Kuroda at the moment. Unless CC comes back and makes his return the way that we think he should, you know, we're going to be in for another long season and possibly another playoff-less season.
All right, well, let's move on from the Yankees. Another interesting talking, not free agency, but the MLB draft. Russell Wilson, the quarterback of the Seattle Seahawks, was drafted by the Texas Rangers in the Rule 5 draft yesterday. What do you think about that?
Well, for those who don't know, the Rule 5 draft happens over winters, where teams are allowed to pick up unprotected players from other teams at a very, very cheap cost. So they picked them up the Texas Rangers picked them up for $12,000. Seems like a lot of money, but when you're a big organization like the Texas Rangers, that's chump change. That's nothing. Even though they know he's in the NFL, they know he's probably never going to play for them. $12,000 is worth it to see if they could pick him up at some point. And you think about it this way. I mean, you've seen other players do it before. Could this be our generation's Bo Jackson?
I would love to see it. I mean, Russell Wilson has been one of the most fun quarterbacks to watch in the NFL. Bo Jackson was and Deion Sanders, two of the most electric NFL players to play the game and played baseball at the same as well. I would 100% love to see Russell Wilson put on a Texas Rangers uniform and do both, and be our generation's Bo Jackson. That would be a great thing to see. We saw the first Triple Crown in baseball with Miguel Cabrera 2 years ago. Could we see the latest installment of a two-sport athlete?
I really hope so, man. I think that'd be awesome. I think he could definitely play. You know, this wasn't his first thing. He was originally drafted by, I believe, Tampa Bay. He declined to play college football. He went on with his football career. And you know what? Maybe we could see a Major League Baseball career out of him.
All right. Well, and then we're going to stop talking about baseball. We're going to move on to the NFL. Very sad news for Mike's beloved Giants. They will not be making the playoffs. It's very sad, very upset.
You know what? They're not making the playoffs, but they all said for the rest of the season they're playing for pride. And you know what? After going 0-6, they're ending it with 5-2 right now. That is, it's not so bad. You know, dealing with the whole season without a running back, Eli playing the way he is. The only thing we can take from this is to play hard, keep going, play as well as we can, and see where we need to make some changes for next year. You know, of course, Eli Manning wasn't doing the same stuff that he usually did, making the throws, making everything. He had a lot of interceptions this year. He's not accurate. But from there, we can only work our way up.
Well, you know, I'm feeling the pain too. My Green Bay Packers got the news today that Rodgers will most likely not be coming back this season. And with that loss, I'm pretty sure there's no hope for the playoffs. I just want to say it really goes to show, and not just saying this as a fan, but it really goes to show how valuable a player like Aaron Rodgers is to that team. You know, they always say the MVP is, you know, the best player of the league. But this is a clear case of, just like Peyton Manning a couple of years ago when he was out that season in Indiana and they were god-awful. This is one of those cases where it shows that he is deserving of one of those most valuable player awards because he is, without him, that team is nothing. And that I just want to say that I hope to see him, you know, recover and be the same as he was, and we can only hope. Moving on, more quarterback news. The Redskins replace RG3 this week with Kirk Cousins. Mike, your thoughts on that? On NFL's NFC East rival, Redskins?
I gotta say, Mike Shanahan's getting a lot of bad feedback on this, saying that you shouldn't take your franchise quarterback out when he's playing bad. You're supposed to let him play through it. But you know what? He's played like crap all season. They're 3-10. I like the move. They got Kirk Cousins to back him up. He's coming in. He's going to be a great quarterback. He was a stud in college. He's going to be a stud in the NFL. You know what? I don't think that Mike Shanahan should have to be afraid to make this move just because, you know, analysts and the media are portraying him to be a jerk for doing it. You know what? This is how sports should work. You don't play well, you don't play. You play well, you play.
I agree.
That's it. The best man gets the job. Doesn't matter who's getting paid more, who's getting what. It doesn't matter. I love the decision. I want to see Kirk Cousins do what he can. And from here on out for the rest of the season, we'll find out.
Yeah, I agree. You want to look back at the draft. This is what they did. They drafted Kirk Cousins right after RG3 in that round of the draft, and I'm pretty sure they were anticipating this. You know, RG3 wasn't one of those typical quarterbacks that they were going to be shaky on, and you know what? It paved out for him because he's not playing like he should be, and he's replaced. So hope to see Kirk Cousins kill it this week in the NFL. That's going to wrap it up for our first half of the show. We're going to come back with a special guest, and we'll see you there, all right? Yeah.
Just like that. Freak me, baby. Freak me, baby. Let me lick you up and down till you say stop. Let me play with your body, baby, make you real hot. Let me do all the things you want me to do. Cause tonight, baby, I wanna get freaky with you. Baby, don't you understand? I wanna be an estimate. I wanna make your body scream. Then you will know just what I mean. You know what I mean. 24 karat gold.
Welcome back to the second half of UA Double Overtime. Now, we may be a sports show, but today we're going to dive into something a little bit different. To all the men out there watching, trying to get your, daily dose of sports here, we're going to go outside the realm of sports and talk about something else that the world of women have created to try to continue to rid the world of men. We have Amanda Crispino here, who is going to be talking about a new app available for the iPhone, and I believe it's a website as well, called Lulu. And me and Mike, we kind of know a little bit about it, but not all that we wish we knew. So, Amanda, why don't you inform us and all the viewers out there what we got going on?
Okay. First, I just want to say thank you for having me on the show today.
No problem. Thank you
Always
for coming.
like a good excuse to wear a suit. All right, so my name is Amanda Crispino, and I am the on-campus marketing rep for Lulu. Lulu is a private app for girls where they can make and they can read reviews for all the guys that they know. Basically, as the CEO of Lulu calls it, it's a search engine for dating, or she also calls it a Geigle. Lulu unleashes the power of girl talk, and it acts as like a dating compass to navigate your love life. So when you meet a guy, basically, guys, when we meet you, we can go on Lulu and we can see exactly what we're getting ourselves into. So as Cosmopolitan calls it, it's like Sex and the City marries Facebook. We can't get much better than that. A review on Lulu is just like taking a Cosmo quiz, aka it is just multiple choice. So basically it's as simple and fun as it could possibly get, because who doesn't love multiple choice compared to everything else, right? And then at the end of the quiz you can add your own hashtags like that better describe the guy. So you can do, like, for example, hashtag kinky in the right ways, or my favorite, hashtag owns Crocs. So you guys have Lulu profiles. What's your favorite hashtag?
I think, Mike, do you have yours? I have. One of my friends sent me mine, so I got some cool ones. I got hashtag local celebrity, which I know Quasi over there was a little bit mad at because I'm more popular than him. And I also got hashtag bums cornflakes, which I don't really remember eating cornflakes in like the past 20 years. So I really don't know what that's about.
Thinking on the cereal.
Yeah.
You see, what I don't understand is that you said your friend sent that to you. I feel like that's breaking girl code by letting everyone know what their hashtags are. I mean, I have one.
Well, I particularly like to think of myself that I haven't burned every bridge with every girl I know, that I still have some on my side.
I have hashtag plays the didgeridoo. Don't know what that is. I do know it is an Australian musical instrument that's mostly played with the mouth. I do know that. Other than that, my other ones are pretty good and pretty bad too. But that's Lulu, I guess.
All right, so basically, who exactly are we going to review as girls? Lulu actually connects directly to Facebook, so you can review any guy that you're Facebook friends with. And the best part is that they are always anonymous, so you can be as honest as you want, like as if you're talking to your girlfriends on a girls' night out. Girls can download Lulu at the App Store or on Google Play for your phone, like Spencer was saying. And then you could also go to onlulu.com. It's spelled ONLULU.com. Now, guys, I promise I have not forgotten about you. To see if you've been reviewed yet, you can also go and download the app, and then you just have to check the My Stats section. And believe it or not, girls are actually pretty nice on this. I don't know what experiences you guys have had.
I think they're angels on this. I was expecting hell to pay when I saw this thing, and it really, might have boosted my self-esteem a little bit for that 5 minutes I was reading it.
Yeah, most guys want to be reviewed more and more because it raises their rates up and up. And believe it or not, for like girls who have like really great guy friends, they use this app and they get their friends a lot of girls because they knock those rates up. And we really do take these seriously. So even if you think it's the devil, it's not.
Or if you have like the same friend that sent me mine said she was going to put all the bad things and make it sound like I was a freak.
Well, people need to know about that also.
Yeah,
so.
Well, now the world knows, so it's okay.
I know.
About 3 million. There are about 3 million users for Lulu and over 500 million profile views. Isn't that crazy? 500 million.
Pretty crazy stuff.
One in every 4 college girls has Lulu on their phone right now.
Yeah,
scary.
That's
scary.
crazy,
I mean,
right?
I've known about this app for I think a year or so, because it was big at Penn State, where one of my friends had was showing all his reviews. They were pretty nasty, but he's also kind of a dick, so it.
Rightly so. Then.
Yeah, rightly so.
Warn the world.
But as a guy, I kind of have to be scared a little bit, knowing that there's a whole realm being talked about us that we have no control over. But I guess that's just the battle of the sexes, heading in the direction it's always been.
I'm actually creating my own app. It's Lulu for guys, and we rate all the girls, but it's strict 2-point rating system. It's either they put out or they don't put out. That's it. That's all we need to know. It's in the works. It'll be here next June for all those that are waiting for it. Lulu for guys.
Well, Lulu actually rates on like 5 different things besides puts out or does not put out, but that's what you guys want.
That's all we need to know.
So, anyway, as a girl, if you are not one of those 4 who has Lulu on their phone right now, you need to come and join the girl talk. So I can warn you about guys like this over here making their own Lulus, and I promise you that you will never leave the house again without the essential and reliable little black dress of dating tools. Thanks for having me on the show, guys.
Well,
no problem.
You heard it here first, boys and girls especially. Go download the Lulu app today. Search me and Mike here. You'll find some great stuff. And Amanda, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I hope you have success marketing the app. We will be blowing the show up as much as possible to get the word out there. Thank you for tuning in for this second half. Me and Mike are going to come back with talk a little NBA that we didn't get to cover in the first half, and we're going to finish off with a big finish. See you later. Thanks, Amanda. We'll be right back.
Lights, Camera, Action presents a great moment in cinema history.
Garbage Day! Huh? No!
Welcome back to UA's Double Overtime, our last segment, and then we're going to shoot right into our big finish. But we're going to talk a little bit NBA basketball right now. A team close to my heart, the New York Knicks. A little upsetting. They're 6-16. Who knows where they're going? You know, Carmelo's still shooting 25.6 points a game. Can he do it all himself? He can't. We need Tyson Chandler in there. We need defense. You know, Mike Woodson, he's afraid to change the lineup up. He's afraid to try new things. We need to. Nothing's working so far. We're below 500 team right now. We're third to last in the entire league, second to last in the East. We're not making playoffs at this rate. I mean, where can we get some help?
I don't know what to tell you. The Knicks have just not been doing it this year. We see it all the time that the Knicks just can't work together. You know, Melo can't work with Amari and all that. I mean, Amari, for what it's worth, hasn't been playing terrible this season. But still, the Knicks just, as a unit, can't do it. Last night, they beat the Bulls, surprisingly, even though Derrick Rose is out. But they still blew a 23-point lead, and that's just inexcusable.
You know, I mean,
you can't do that.
To barely beat them when they didn't have Butler last night, they didn't have Luol Deng, and they didn't have Derrick Rose, and we won by the skin of our teeth.
Yeah.
It's hard to watch these games. You know, I mean, I've even been not turning off the TV, not watching it to do other things because it's hard. It's hard.
My birthday is next week, and they're playing the Grizzlies. And for my birthday, months ago, I asked my dad if we can go to the Knicks game. He said sure. And 2 weeks ago, he asked me, "Do you still want to go to the Knicks game? They suck." And I said, no, I don't want to go. I don't want to waste my money to go see them get beat by the Grizzlies by 30 points. It's just a waste of time.
You know, I think there's two major questions with it. Is Carmelo Anthony still a high-caliber player that we thought he was? And if he is he going to stay in New York?
I think it goes back to that just the foreshadowing of this season that he put on the team when he said, I'm going to be a free agent after this season. He basically already announced he's abandoning the Knicks after this season. Would you want to play would you want to play your best for your team leader if he told you he was going to abandon you after the season?
I mean, absolutely not. You know, either way, it doesn't matter if you want to play your best for the team leader or not. You're getting paid to play this game. It should be a game you love to play. You play it as hard as you can every time you go on that court. And there's some players that are doing that, and it looks like some players aren't. Are they not? I don't know. I'm not in that locker room. I'm not on the court with them. I'm not at practice with them. I don't know what's going through their head. All I know is I love Tim Hardaway Jr. I hope he stays there. I hope he has his whole career as a New York Knick. He looks like a more stable J.R. Smith. I think it'd be great to keep him on the team. With that being said, I think we're going to hop into our big finish. And the first thing of our big finish, we're going to talk about Mike Shanahan's decision to sit RG3 and replace him with Kirk Cousins. Is that a yes or no thing to do?
Absolutely. RG3 isn't producing. You got to replace him. Next up, Heisman. Who are you picking?
You know what? A lot of people are going for that good boy A.J. McCarron. He doesn't have a shot. Johnny Manziel, that's it. He's winning it. Nick Sending with a 500 season, yes or no?
Absolutely not. There's no way. Cano, is he a sellout?
Sellout. Sellout. Cutler announced to be started over McGowan next week. Is that good or bad?
Terrible. McGowan put up 348 yards, 4 touchdowns, and completed 27 out of 36 attempts against the Cowboys. You got to leave him in there. Jay Cutler is terrible. Next up, plate collisions in baseball. Should they be banned, yes or no?
You know what? I mean, with so many safety concerns there, now they're going to ban plate collisions. I mean, come on. What are we working out for to be MLB players? What are they striving for every day? They're getting bigger. They're getting faster. What for if you can only slide into home plate? The better you are, the better it should be. You shouldn't have a handicap against you when you're going into home plate. If you can't hold on to that ball as a catcher, don't even look at it. That's it.
And me and our good friend Sean Kimmon say it all the time. Of America. That's our show, guys. Thank you for bearing with us this season. Thank you to Amanda Crispino, our on-campus Lulu rep, who took the time to join us. Girls, go out and download that app. You won't be let down. Mike, you got anything for the fans out there?
Catch you later if you give me a good pass.
Stop it. You know, the great thing about playing against Utah, I would say, is like that pack of truth. You knew it was coming, but you couldn't stop it because it was all about the execution. Carl first had a great pick. John was patient with the basketball, and then he delivered the ball on time.